Stop taking my hand. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xaereth Prevails. So, you finally have Rey. Now what? You've unlocked her, and it's exciting. It's fun. Go get her ultimate. You need her ultimate. You need all 6 of her Zetas. That is apparent. You want her to be at least Relic 7. If you can get her to 8, that's wonderful. 9, she's on a somewhat short list, trying to get her to 9 as of the making of this video. There's also, eventually guys, there's going to, in the video description, be an unlock guide for Rey. I don't have it as of the creation of this video, but that will exist. So check the video description if it's a little bit later. That is coming up. In fact, as crazy as that sounds, it's a long time coming, but like a very long time. But here's the thing: Rey is still super relevant. She's the oldest galactic legend, other than Supreme Leader Kylo. But unlike Kylo, and I mean, okay, so whatever. We don't need to talk about Kylo. we don't talk about Kylo here, but he's fine. Honestly, he's a galactic legend. But Rey is even more of a galactic legend. She's much better, in my opinion. She's much more relevant. There's a lot of cool defensive builds and offensive builds in GAC. I'm also going to show you guys how to use her in territory battles, and I'm going to show you some 3v3 footage, not just because I like 3v3, which I do actually, because there's a lot of room for theorycraft and fun interactions that you don't normally see in 5v5, but I also want to show you because it displays her different abilities really nicely, especially in the mirror, which I couldn't find any good 5v5 footage that I really liked, because I don't like that mess. But I want to show you guys kind of the principles of how to do the Rey mirror, because that's a really important thing to be able to know how to do in a lot of different ways. And so we're going to go over the mods, we're going to go over the different teams, and then I have a bunch of footage that I will show you. I want to make sure you guys know how to use Rey wherever she is, and what teams to use and everything. And I've already done this for Sith Eternal and for Jedi Master Luke, though I think I might redo the Jedi Master Luke one. We'll have to see. They've learned a lot since I made that one. That being said, folks, before we jump into anything, just want to remind you guys, if you want to support the channel for free, all you've got to do is hit that thumbs up button or leave a comment in the comments area trying to mount the algorithm, and we can't do it without each other. Just gotta do it, guys. The algorithm is good and kind, and it's been helping me a lot lately, and I really appreciate that. And it's a free thing, guys. Just costs you a tiny bit of carpal tunnel. It's progression, though, a progression toward carpal tunnel. You're making progress, so good deal there, right? So let's go to the game, and I'm going to show you guys modding and the different teams, and then we're going to jump into some video, and then I'll let you guys leave if you so desire. So let's get over to the game first. Whoa, we're in the game. Madness. And it's also not sized the way I wanted it to, which is what she said. Alright guys, here's the standard team. You can see the D in standard. This is the D team, but okay, so man, where to even begin talking about the Rey team? So this is an all resistance team. This is the team that I like on defense a lot. This is a team I like, even on offense, it's good. We'll talk about Rey first, though. There's two different things, two different ways to build Rey. First, you can do a health Rey, which I have decided to ignore completely because it's not as fun as an offense Rey. There are 2 stats that she likes the most. She likes 2, just 2, guys. She could use some like more tenacity or something, but she really wants a ton of health, as much as you can give her, and she wants a ton of damage, offense. Those are the 2 stats that matter to her. That she doesn't really care that much. Some tenacity is fine. You can see I have 0 on her, and I feel just fine. And protection, don't think about her this is an abysmal. She's relic 8 in this, and she's only got 20k protection. It is ridiculous. Don't think about her protection. Her health matters a lot, though, as you guys will see. So if you want to do the offense side of things, you want to get somewhere at 12,000 or more. Some people have way more than this. Well, maybe not way more, but the relic 9 on her is super nice too, just for that, and also her health. So her health if you're doing the offense Rey thing, then you want her to be as close to 200k as you can do. You know, obviously I've tried, I can't quite get it. I'll show you guys what mods I'm using, but those are the two things. And then if you can get her speed, if you can get her another plus 100 or whatever, she doesn't need a ton of speed. I mean, she's already pretty fast, obviously, as a Galactic Legend, but she doesn't need a whole lot. So, you know, 103, get her somewhere over 500 if you can. That would be pretty nice. And here's the thing, guys. If you're doing the offense Rey, or sorry, the health Rey, you want her somewhere around 140k health. Even more would be great. And then the thing is, you still want as much of the mods that the other the other version has as you can. So you still want to be somewhere around 10,000, 11,000 damage, even with the health Rey. Because you want those two stats. Those are the two things you're focusing on. So you can see I have on my Rey, I have an offense set and a health set, as you might imagine. So, you know, the cross is offense, but look at all the secondaries, guys. She is one character who really responds super well to being well modded. She really wants a lot of good mods. She's very demanding, but she really rewards you if you put good mods on her. So you can see I have extra health on her, even as I have offense. You want all 6E. She's a Galactic Legend. She probably deserves them, honestly, because of how much she impacts the match. You can see this circle has health primary, but it also has offense as the secondary. And then, I mean, it has some speed, but then we also have, I mean, flat offense is not something you want to aim for, but it's okay. I'd rather have a roll on speed, frankly, than that. Or frankly, another roll on percent offense. That's where the magic is, guys. Percent offense. So otherwise, we have this diamond, and I have health and offense on her. I could probably find a better mod, but I mean, it's pretty tough to find percent health and percent offense and percent speed or plus speed and have them all roll at a decent amount. So I mean, this is okay. But you know, obviously not the very best. You have the offense here. Remember, speed is kind of the tertiary goal, but you have health and then obviously offense for the primary. Up here we have offense primary arrow with some speed and some health. Obviously we could do a little bit more health here if I could find an offense arrow that I've prioritized percent health on and rolled a pretty decent speed amount. And then we also have this, you know, the triangle. I'm forgetting my shapes, guys. This is terrible. I never knew there were so many shapes in all the galaxy. But we have health. This is actually some really good rolling. On the health, we have some good speed, and then some defense doesn't help, or doesn't hurt. Percent defense, I mean, yeah, this is a fine triangle. Remember, we're not prioritizing speed. We want health, we want some speed, and we want some offense. That's what we want, guys. And if you want pure health on her, then you still need to get as much offense on her as you can. So the reason why we're doing all of this, guys, there's so much going on. So let's start with Lifeblood. This is one of her really key abilities, and this is something that you're going to remember, you're going to need to remember if you want to use Rey well. So here's the thing. This is a buff that she can use at any point as long as she has enough health. So if she hurts herself, she loses 25% health. So that loses is their way of saying she damages herself by 25%. And this is health, not just like takes the protection off first and then if she damages into health. She just loses that health. So it bypasses protection, such as it is. She doesn't have much protection anyways, as I said. And then you have to target a light side ally. So they gain bonus protection equal to the amount lost. So here's the thing. Bonus protection is based off of percent health. If she loses 25% health, and she'll add, like, let's just do it real easy, guys. If she has 100,000 health, she loses 25,000 health for this. Then your friend is going to gain bonus protection equal to that, so he's going to gain 25,000 health or bonus protection on top of that. All other light side allies gain half that amount. So that everyone else gets 12.5k health, or keep saying that, extra bonus protection every time she uses this. So she makes her whole team more resilient whenever she uses this. If she's at full health when she uses this ability, then everyone gains crit hit immunity. That's great. So that the first time she uses it, generally she's going to be able to use it, and then the crit hit immunity isn't going to be a thing really after that. And then so the one that you target gains lifeblood, and they get so let's see. So you grant the other enemy, or you get everyone else, or that one person, lifeblood, and then the person who has lifeblood, their damage received decreased by 30%, and damage dealt increased by 30%. So she on her AI, guys, the AI gives someone else this one to the weakest character. So usually it's like Finn, resistance hero Finn, and then he does extra damage, and the amount of damage he's dealt is decreased by 30%. So that's pretty nice. Yeah. So you also buff him a lot if you give him this lifeblood. So lifeblood is based on her having a ton of health. If she has 240k health, that's great. Here's the thing, guys. She's a galactic legend, so she also per relic level, she's also gaining 10% max health and max protection. Max protection, who cares? And then their damage is received is reduced. That's fine, but the plus 10% max health is the big thing. That's why you would want relic 9 on her, even though she doesn't gain a ton of stats. You guys can see that it's pretty pathetic actually for the amount of investment required here. She's gaining 6,000 health. That's cool. And then the mods will kick in, and they'll kick it up to somewhere around 10k. So I mean, that's not bad. Her offense is abysmal that she gets almost nothing for that. But the biggest thing is, guys, she gains another 10% health on top of the amount that she's gaining, and so she's going to be plus 90% max health after she gets Relic 9. I mean, granted, I know Relic 9 is a long way off for a lot of us, but that's the thing. Okay, 2 other elements to her that are super important. First off, she has this sudden whirlwind, or as I like to say, whirlwind. I say it suddenly though, so it kind of implies the sudden. We don't have to actually say it as long as we abruptly say it. It's like whirlwind. People are like, wow, that was sudden. So here's the thing, guys. This has changed since you've probably first read it, if you've been around for a little bit in this game. She deals 2 times massive damage to target enemy. So massive damage is a set amount. It's like 100k health, something like, or 100k damage. And that, and because it's massive damage, that means that it cannot crit. It's just true damage. It's 100k damage, but it deals 7% more damage per relic level. So again, if you boost her relic level up to 8 or 9 or whatever, this damage is also going to go up, so 7% more damage per relic level. And then it also deals some physical damage to all enemies. So this is why people argue with me sometimes, okay, so it's an AoE, but it only really does damage to one person. The damage modifier for the other part of the damage is pretty negligible. Here's the thing though, guys. So that makes it so that people can't be revived. And the AoE, the reason people argue with me is the AoE that it does do damage with, it does a small amount of damage. You don't care about crit damage on her, because just because this is an AoE that does crit damage and it can crit, doesn't mean it does an okay amount of damage. I mean, it's like, okay, nice, it did a little extra damage to people, but like, I kind of forgot. I always forget that it's even a relevant way of doing damage. Like, it's nothing. So don't mod for crit damage because of this ability. Like, people argue this, and it's crazy to me. Here's the thing about this ability too, though, guys. So you have to activate it. So if a light side ally dropped below 60% health since the last time someone used Whirlwind, and that includes her, then she can use it. So she can activate it on herself and then heal, and then activate it on herself, then heal. Or you can have multiple allies that have it activated for them. One way or another, it's kind of tricky. You got to remember when it gets loaded up, and when it's loaded, then you're good to go. Now, the final thing I want to point out, there are a lot of things, guys, on her. You're gonna have to just read her kit. Like, she gives a bunch of mastery. She gives speed. She does, whenever an enemy gains bonus turn meter, then people who are inspired, the allies gain 5% mastery stacking, and that's great, And then she also gives damage immunity for a turn, and once someone goes below 50% health. So I mean, there's a ton of really cool stuff. Like she keeps her team alive for a long time. The one other thing, guys, you get her ultimate, and her ultimate is also true damage, so it's not crit damage. It's also, though, she yeah, okay, while she's in the stands, Rey can't act. She has 30% less speed, so she's way slower. She's immune to all detrimental effects. She can't be defeated, all this stuff, so she can't be killed while she's in here. And her whole team is also protected. When she does her damage, it does damage based on her offense. Again, it's true damage, so it can't crit, and that's it. You know, like her basic can also crit. So yeah, I guess you guys can argue that if you want. That's fun. We'll have fun with that. And then she starts at the start of her turn. She becomes inspired. Inspired is pretty nice. Does a lot of cool stuff. We can't focus on every single thing here, though, guys. So Rey, really good character. Pretty simple in modding, even though it is also very difficult to mod her well. Her friends, Jedi Training Rey, sometimes you want to use Jedi Training Rey as lead if you're using in territory battles or something, because of all the turn meter mechanics that you get. You're not hurting your own self when you use get bonus turn meter or whatever, like other Galactic Legends can. So it's nice. Jedi Training Rey is nice. You can use R2-D2 here, because here's the thing about R2-D2. You want all that offense on Rey, right? He also has this thing where he hands off a ton of his stats. So at the start of the battle, and when he revives, so as long as he's alive, then all these different things, all other resistant allies, which is what Rey is, she's not a Jedi, gain 10% of R2-D2's max protection, offense, health, max health, potency, blah blah blah. The offense is the big thing, guys. So mine is not modded to be this way, but you can get him. So I mean, look at his damage. I mean, this isn't a ton. You can boost it quite a bit if you put offense set and everything. But the thing is, he's handing off 10% of this to Rey, and this is before you get all of the mastery and everything from her leadership and stuff. And so he's going to be giving her an extra 560 offense, which is nice. It's fancy. Resistance Hero Finn, you probably want him way faster than I have him if you're running him with her. Like, you want him to be at like 340, because then he gets to 370 after her leadership, and it gets crazy. But I don't have enough speed mods anymore, guys. There are so many different things that demand speed mods that I just have to let him fall by the wayside. So, I mean, if you want to run him with her and really benefit, feel free. 340 speed, that's great. And we'll talk about his kit as we're playing, as I'm showing you guys things. Resistance Hero Poe, he hands out Inspired. He does a lot of cool stuff with Inspired. You want him to be a little bit slower than Finn, and it works great with Rey, though. They're pretty. The thing is, they're really good on other teams as well. And we're not talking about other teams, but a lot of times you want these guys on a Jedi Training Rey team. For instance, you can also have BB-8 here, but BB-8 doesn't do anything for. I mean, he does. BB-8 does okay things for her, but really BB-8 just goes with Jedi Training Rey. And I mean, I'll do BB-8 with Poe, but now I want BB-8 other places as well, as you guys will see if you watch my GAC videos. At least currently, I have some interesting plans. So that's like the standard team. If you want the cheaper version of Rey, if you want to use a Jedi Training Rey team on their own, you can go with like Vander Chewie, because Vander Chewie has this really cool thing where he's got all kinds of stuff. So let's see. Okay, so he has this counter chance if any damage, blah blah blah. Okay, maybe it's on this one, the Beast. Oh yeah, here it is. So all enemies deal 25% damage while Chewbacca is buffed. So if he has a buff on him, then they deal less damage to Rey, which is just nice. 25% less damage to a really tanky character is super nice. And he's light side and everything, so he's pretty good. Zalbar is interesting because he immediately taunts once someone goes below 100% health, and it's like a pre-taunt with her, because once she takes a turn, then Zalbar taunts passively. Once another ally falls below 100% health, Zalbar taunts. So remember, Rey will do Lifeblood right away and immediately make Zalbar taunt, so it's kind of like him being a pre-taunt. L3 can be good because she is a pre-taunt. Veteran Han is nice because he can just annoy the heck out of people by ability blocking them and causing mayhem. This is more of like a timeout type team where Rey just slowly over time just destroys them while you're just kind of holding them firm. So Veteran Han, kind of nice there as well. If you want to run Rey Cat, I like this build because Vander makes it harder to kill Rey or Cat. We have a pre-taunt here. We have R2-D2 who can put smoke onto Rey and then make it so that Cat is not targetable. The pre-taunt. This is one apparatus you can use for Rey Cat, and of course Commander Ahsoka Tano will give, because she's a Lasufu, a light side unaligned Force user. She will also give Rey 50% health and 50% offense, along with other things. Hey, look, some critical damage, guys, for those people who really think it's important. Super awesome. But Cat just hangs out there and makes it so that Rey has 50% more offense. Really crazy. Cat is the most in-demand character in the entire game right now, though, and I don't always put her with Rey. I don't commonly put her with Rey. It's a good tool to have in your tool book, though, or your tool belt, your toolbox. Some kind of tool. She's tooling with us. Here's another one, guys. Jedi friends, you use this comp to take down Kenobi. You guys will see that in a little bit with Kenobi Cat. And then in 3v3, I really like this team just to annoy people. Because Armor tries to get her third stack and then she gives it to Rey, and then Rey can't be crit. So like Sith Eternal teams won't be able to kill Rey in time. They'll just time out because he needs to be able to crit her to be able to make anything happen. So she'll just time her out, and then maybe she dies easily next time because Armor isn't around because she's been slain by Sith Eternal. But I mean, making Rey immune to crits is really fun in 3v3. And then the one that I like on offense for her the most, there are other builds you guys will have to see if we ever go back to 3v3, but I do like Rey with Bastion and Yoda for lots of different reasons. But that being said, guys, we've talked about all of this stuff for a long time, kits and builds and everything. Let's actually get to some practical stuff. We're going to start with territory battles because territory battles show a lot of different interesting interactions, and I also, I think that it's just good to start with something more simple, and then we'll move our way through territory to GAC kind of comps. And one thing I do want to point out, guys, is I usually, in this video is the same, I will usually have some kind of timestamp at the bottom of this, so you guys can skip ahead if you don't want to see the territory battle stuff. Though I think if you haven't used Rey on offense, or, if you haven't used Rey much, you probably do want to see this, and interesting builds and all of that. So let's go to some video, shall we? So here's territory battles, and we're starting off with this really fancy build where we so this is phase 2. I actually just did it myself. I did it in phase 1 and then BlueStacks crashed, so great. Okay, so we're using Jedi Training Rey lead here, which is an important aspect to all of this. And I think I did kind of move the video speed a little bit faster so that we can actually get through it. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. We have Jedi Training Rey lead, and we have Ball behind my head. So just so you're aware. Here's the thing. Jedi Training Rey is a tank, technically, and so we have Finn, Resistance Hero Finn, who will eventually throw his Grenade of Healing, and that will force the taunt onto Rey. And so we're going to give Lifeblood to Jedi Training Rey here. Or the taunt onto Jedi Training Rey, rather, our lead. And so here, I'm putting Daze onto this B2 if I can. And then, because we have Daze, let's actually so we can put Stealth onto everyone except for, may as well make them hit our Rey first. Our Galactic Legend Rey, rather. Eventually, we will have more of a taunt. But, we'll have a taunt from Jedi Training Rey, and we'll focus on that. But I'd rather get Lifeblood. Remember, she loses 25% of her max health. She's handing that much to Jedi Training Rey, and then she's giving everyone else, half of that, like 1/8 of what she's missing. Okay, so we're taking out this B1. We've scalpeled him out a little bit, and now we can take out this B2 because he was dazed. And the thing we have to be looking out for is, look how those spies did those hits onto Rey, or Jedi Training Rey, but she's also Oh yeah, we activated Whirlwind, so we were able to just take out one of those spies that showed its head, and then because we've been putting Lifeblood onto Jedi Training Rey, they do less damage to her, and in addition to that, she's also got all those stacks of bonus protection that just keep going. Like they don't stop. Like if you it's just an unlimited supply of bonus protection if you go that long. If you have the right enemies that don't do any damage to you, that's how it works. So, you know, Jedi Training Rey is great here in territory battles specifically because she gains so much turn meter and everything. So here's the goal, guys. We're going to try to make it so that eventually there's only one enemy left, and when they take a turn, when that enemy is still remaining, we want to be able to cycle through with Finn to be able to hand the turn to BB-8, who will then use Illuminated Destiny. So yeah, everyone's just going to use their non-combat moves. And keep in mind, with Jedi Training Rey lead, instead of Rey, you're getting your specials way faster. You're cycling through those specials way faster. That's every time you use a special, you reduce the cooldowns on your other specials. So, like, Finn can just spam his specials. He never uses his basic, hardly ever. So, okay, so he's going to pass the turn to Ball, because Ball has Illuminated Destiny ready. You hand the turn to Ball, and the next turn we have Illuminated Destiny, and everyone gains all the turn meter, and you can start off the right way. So B2, of course, is going to get bonus turn meter if we hit anyone besides him. And yeah, so he's got 4 stacks, the little thing. Didn't let us see that for a sec, but and then Rey was able to just take out one of these stupid sniper droids who can actually snipe you even through your ultimate. So I know that I have my ultimate here. The ultimate's here for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's there for insurance. If you need the ult, if the enemy's getting a lot of turns, then you can obviously use it and kind of protect yourself, because no one takes damage for a little bit, except for shield droids will punch through it and cause permanent death. And otherwise, the ultimate is there for the end, for the final part. Like, you don't really need her ultimate, honestly. You guys will see I barely even use it in wave 4. So yeah, we're just, you know, Spy does another hit on Rey, or Jedi Training Rey, and does almost no damage. So once again, we're trying to get it to the point where BB-8 gets Illuminated Destiny from Finn at some point. So yeah, okay, let's hit Soldier, and I just did a basic here, so then Finn hands the turn to BB-8, and once again we get here. So this one ends a little bit differently, or this phase does, because we're not able to make that happen. So yeah, we're, you know, throw grenades, hooray, try to take out this B1, and because we don't want that stupid Gatler there. We also don't want Magna Guard to hit us back, and so you can see whenever we're in stealth, because R2 gives stealth to everyone except for Jedi Training Rey, who is taunting now, so, you know, may as well just put stealth on her. And the thing is, we want to be able to do an AoE while we're in stealth, so that Magna Guard does not taunt or hit us with his hitter, with his stick, with his glowy purple thing. So yeah, wonder if he found that's inappropriate. I wonder where he found that. Well, let's just say that. So all right, doing the same thing, guys, just trying to do the same old things. And yeah, okay, so Soldier is ready here now, but we gained too much turn meter. But Ball actually has a bunch of turn meter loaded already, so no skin off our backs or teeth or wherever skin could be back off of. So all right, R2 has this event ability available that we can use, but we want to get stealth on everyone because we don't want that brute to hit us back. We don't want him hitting us at all, so we put stealth on everyone except for Jedi Training Rey, who will eventually be taunting. And then that way, okay, so we're gonna hand the turn back to R2, even though R2 doesn't have max health. And then R2 can then do his big AoE from the event special. And then I did my whirlwind on their lead, which was Poggle, which was foolish. I should have just taken out their Brute Alpha, but one way or another. Okay, let's pop our ult, I guess. Whirlwind can do more specific damage, though, and we never even get to our ult. So there it is, folks. 4 out of 4 with Jedi training Rey lead instead of Rey. Now, you know, although Rey did play a pretty important part. Now let's talk about the Rey mirror match, shall we? This is. Let's see. Hold on. Alright, here we are, folks. Let's make this happen. So, this is the 3v3 mirror match. Rey versus... people used to say that this was the unbeatable Rey comps with Han and Chewie, because we have guard on Rey, so we can't even crit Rey. But we're going to do the mirror match. And so... you can see we're doing a lot of things, but the thing that I really want to stress here, guys, is how important Lifeblood is. So you keep putting Lifeblood onto Bastion, then Hoda can buff both of these guys, but you want you want to be able to survive a whirlwind from their Rey, which can be very challenging to do. And then you want to prioritize that. You also want to prioritize whenever they go into ultimate that you also go into ult. But look at her turn meter there, guys. The way it works, and it's so strange, is because you both go slower, your speed slows way down. If you go into ultimate when her turn meter is this low, she is going to actually make it so that you take the next ultimate. She pops her ult, then you pop yours, and then you trigger your ultimate. For some reason, that's how the math of it works. And so instead we put Lifeblood in, and you know, we can stun Chewie, I suppose. And then now we do our ultimate. She does hers, doesn't do any damage to us. Now we can put this Master's Training on Rey just to make sure that she does extra damage. And you want to ability block their Rey as well, if you can, if she's available to it. Obviously not working right now to ability block her, but it makes life a lot easier if you can. And remember, we've had Whirlwind triggered and available for a while, but I wanted to wait and make sure that Basti could take a Whirlwind if necessary. So she goes into her ultimate once again, and she's got a lot of actual health, or sorry, turn meter now. So now we can pop our ult. She hits us for no damage because it's our ult. And okay, we got ability block on her too, so she can only do her basic at that point. So she can only there's some crits for you. Her basic, yay for critting on her basic. Lots of crit damage. Sorry, so much shade, guys. I'm not that sorry. This is one reason you would want tenacity on her, though, is so that Basti can't land those debuffs. Okay, so does the whirlwind, doesn't actually hurt us. They have a bunch of extra, you know, bonus protection and everything as well. So okay, because guard is gone, we can actually stun Han now. And yeah, so give the buffs to Rey, so our ultimate does extra damage because that offense up is nice. And then, once again, we can just focus on trying to get our ultimate, trying to get everything up and running. We have a whirlwind available, but it's like, well, why don't we just, you know, we can do, I guess we can do the whirlwind. And then let's just try to heal up and kill her on, you know, after we trade ultimates. Then we can, you know, we'll try to get max banners and all of that, the health, obviously. Okay, Hoda got the health onto her, great. And so she actually does an ultimate, but we have so much extra protection that it doesn't really matter that much. And now we're going to get our ultimate. She'll have no protection against it, and we take her out. So 54 banners. That's the max in the old version of 3v3. Who knows what it's going to be next time? Like 57 is going to be. 56 will probably be the max. I don't really know. 56, 57, like, I don't know, maybe 59, I guess, in this new version, if we ever get another 3v3. So let's go to another one, guys. This is going to be her against Jedi Master Kenobi with Cat. All right, here we are. Just like magic, guys. I am down here again. So here's the comp. This is in arena, so we have Jedi. We have General Skywalker here instead of, like, it's easier to take out a team if if they don't have General Skywalker. But Skywalker is here, and it's in arena, like I said. And so this is the comp you pretty much just need, because they focus on Yoda, but they don't have any permanent death here, so you can revive as much as you want with Jolee, and the whole team really responds well to all of her different shenanigans. You guys will see her damage immunity coming into play here, I believe. So okay, they're hitting Grandmaster Yoda, and his whole goal is just to take aggro. That's his whole goal. And okay, so Cat goes, she does her ultimate, or whatever it is, her insta-death thing, kills Grandmaster Yoda, and now we hand the turn to Luke. We can stun all the people, and now let's target Cat with the mark, and you really need to kill Cat as soon as you can, guys. So alright, it looks like Rey is ready. She's at 60%, so her whirlwind is going to be available as soon as she does take a turn. And alright, so we revive Yoda. We have a whirlwind available, so hit Cat, and okay, I think that triggered Savior, so now we just need to take her out one more time. Once again, they're hitting Yoda, but now Yoda is just hanging out there with damage immunity, so they can hit him as much as they want. Now, I can call someone to assist. I guess Yoda is good to call to assist. He'll gain some, he won't gain turn meter, but he's the other one who can do decent damage. Okay, let's do another whirlwind on Cat, because we need Cat gone. No matter what. Now this team you can beat with other teams, but Cat just makes this team so unapproachable. So, okay, here's the thing, guys. You want Jolee to actually do a little damage, because you want his cooldowns to be reduced. So, that's why he did a basic there, instead of calling someone to assist. And, alright, we can... we're just gonna keep going. I guess, kill Kenobi eventually. Maybe we can mark someone else a little bit later if we want. And I always like to take out Ahsoka first. A lot of people are like, no way, man, Skywalker's way better, but Ahsoka does a lot of things really well. Actually, she dispels for her team. She, if she can crit, she takes a ton of bonus turns. The amount of damage she does, I think, is actually, I feels like she does more damage than any of the others. That could be wrong, but I just feel like the amount that she assists is really important. So, we popped our ult there finally, and we're just gonna keep on going. I've done this a lot in arena. I've done it a couple times in GAC and Territory Wars. It does work. I think the more health that's on their Cat, which now that's kind of the new thing, is making a health Cat, like making her, you don't have to have her super slow or anything, but she really benefits from a lot of health, and the whirlwinds can sometimes just not even get through her first layer of protection and health under Kenobi. So you got to be careful. Check the modding and everything. Gosh, what? Just kill Kenobi, man. I guess Ahsoka's pretty close to dead too, and then we can probably just take out Kenobi as well. Remember, we do want to keep up this lifeblood stuff, and I've been putting it on Revan, because Revan becomes their second priority after Yoda dies. You really don't want Revan to die at all. Okay, so they killed someone else. That's great. Jolee is available though, and sure, why not? Why not just take out Skywalker here while we're waiting, and then eventually Jolee will take a turn and hopefully be able to revive poor old wrinkled Yoda. That's what Jedi Luke needed, man, when he was there with at Yoda's hut. He just needed Jolee to bring back Yoda. Like 900 years old wouldn't have done anything to him. Look at how Jedi Luke does damage with his stun ability now to Galactic Legends. Pretty clutch. Finally do our ultimate, almost kill Kenobi here. We've got a minute left. This is a timeout threat team, guys. This can totally time out if you're not careful. So, I guess just hand turn to Jolee to maybe revive Yoda, but didn't work. This can be a mess, guys. This can be a huge fiasco. If they kill your Yoda and then still have enough to punch through your Jolee, can be an enormous fiasco. So be careful on this. This does work. There is some RNG involved. I'm just showing you one example. So, let's see, finally, let's just show you, this is my buddy Solo Base 15, and this is against a lesser team. You don't need a full team with Rey. She's good at soloing teams, she's good at just using 2 characters, and Holdo is wonderful to go with her to help her, just as a helper, a little bit of help here, and the idea is that, you know, they kind of just share the load. Remember, though, General Grievous is doing an enormous amount of damage with all of these droids here. So, you know, okay, let's put days on him. But look at all that damage that it did to Rey. Look at how close she is to death. And this is a high health Rey. It's pretty crazy. So it's like, do you do Lifeblood? And she has already had her damage immunity triggered, but you know, she's also not taking that much damage anymore, apparently. And so, you know, wait until Holdo can do her special, except she's ability blocked here, because she is. Do her ult, take out both of them. I mean, I think Holdo is actually a great character to have to babysit Rey if she's going to be soloing something, but it's too strong. Like, I've seen people take Holdo with Rey to solo like a really strong Darth Revan team or something as well. Holdo's a good babysitter that doesn't cost that much, frankly. So anyways, guys, this isn't like the definitive everything you can do with Rey, but I mean, I think if I showed you a fair degree of things. Like, use her ultimate strategically, use her lifeblood as much as you can, and, you know, give it to the person who's the weakest or who's going to be hit the most. You don't always need to use Rey lead, though. I mean, in general you want to. There's some pretty cool comps out now where you can use Jedi Revan lead with Rey, and you don't get the damage immunity, but you get a lot of other cool stuff because he leads Jedi really well. Jedi Revan does. And so, yeah, she's a good character, guys. She really is. And I don't know. Go get a Relic 9. I mean, Relic 7 at the very minimum, though, folks, I think. Anyways, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Tell me if this guide was helpful. I hope it was. I know it's a little bit long-winded, but there's a lot to cover, and we barely even scratched the surface, frankly. There's so much to this character, and she can kill all the Galactic Legends. I mean, she struggles against Lord Vader a little bit, but all of them, she has a decent counter, a decent chance to do it. Sometimes she needs Cat, which is a little bit overblown, but alright, I'm gonna stop yammering, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Zereth prevails.